Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on these MX F1 power supplies by LEPA, as in leopard. As you can see, it's like a ferocious cat, probably where they got it from. But they come in the 350 watt, 400 watt, and 600 watt versions. I don't have the 500 watt in hand, but it also comes in that wattage. There are a couple things I'd like to go over before opening up the box, and one of them is that you get overpower, over voltage, and short circuit protection. One more thing is that you also get the half bridge design, which gives greater stability and reliability. And with the half bridge design, it can yield higher output power and generally use smaller parts. Here's everything that comes in the boxes. I didn't bother taking out the other two manuals and the power cords because they're all the same. But here's a quick look at the manual. Look at all these languages that it comes in. And there's a leopard. Very cool. Let's take a look inside though. This is basically showing you the connectors, installation, and all that. Quite a simple guide. And of course, power cord. Now, let me go down the power charts before I go over the non-modular cables. So there are no modular cables included, like, say, in a bag that I sometimes see, but that's just a heads up. So first up is the 350 watt version. It's a dual plus 12 volt rail at 14 and 15 amps each with a total 350 watts. And for the 400 watt model, also dual plus 12 volt rails, 15 and 16 amps, at 400 total watts. And finally, for the 600 watt power supply, also a dual plus 12 volt rail design, 20 and 20 amps. So total wattage, 600 watts. Now for a look at the cables. For the 20 plus 4 pin main connector and the 4 plus 4 pin CPU connector, all of them come with obviously only one 20 plus 4, but also just one 4 plus 4 pin CPU. And those are the cables that are sleeved. You know, I'm just going to, give me one moment, while the others are not. So here is the 20 plus 4 pin main connector, sleeved, and the 4 plus 4 pin CPU plug. And they made a note in the features that said that this is close to 2 feet long. So when you have longer cases like full towers and ultra towers, you'll have a bit more reach. The purpose of the sleeving is to give it a clean look, as well as it helps the ventilation in the case and so on. So here are the various other cables. All of them come with 4 Molex and a floppy. But the SATA connectors differ, as well as the PCIe connectors. The 350 watt version does not come with a PCIe connector. However, it does have, one moment, I did mention it had the 4 Molex, and here's the floppy, and 3 SATA. For the 400 watt version, let me just untie this. Once again, 20 plus 4 pin main and 4 plus 4 pin CPU. Let's see, you get 2 SATA here and an additional, right here, an additional 3 SATA, so that makes 5 SATA total. Of course, the 4 Molex, oh wait, no, this is 2 Molex here, and there's also 2 Molex here, and you get one 6 plus 2 pin PCIe connector. There should also be a floppy in here. Ah, there it is. Finally, for the 600 watt bunch of cables, I got it all organized, so no more digging around to find the cables that I need. So here is the 20 plus 4 pin main, 4 plus 4 pin CPU connector, and 2 Molex, an additional 2 in a floppy, and here are your 4 SATA, another 3 SATA, which makes 7. Finally, your 2 PCIe, 6 plus 2 pin PCIe connectors. Here's some information about the MX F1 power supplies. If you are intending to install a Intel 4th Gen Core processor in your system, is that this MX F1 power supply, or these, are compatible with Haswell, but not for the C6, C7 low power draw states. But most Haswell compatible motherboards disable the mode in the BIOS by default, or you could just go into the BIOS yourself and turn it off. But the MX F1 does support most of its features and usability. Just a little tip if you are curious. And now onto the actual power supply. I'll be going over the 350 watt version because it's basically the same as the 400 or the 600 in dimensions. So it measures about 5.5 inches long and almost 6 inches along this edge, and it's about 3¼ inches tall. We'll start off here at the top. Here you get a 120 millimeter silent hydraulic bearing fan with the CAT logo. And as you can see, this power supply has a mainly black and white color scheme going on. Some ventilation holes here where the cables are, your non-modular cables. And it's got a race car design. I know someone who would really like this. Jenny! And you got some ventilation holes here, as well as look into your internal components. Here's a useful little switch. You can change from 115 to, wait, let me flip this, to 230 volts, depending on which country is compatible with the voltage, so that could come in handy. And here's your power port, power switch, and that about covers it. That wraps up our overview on these LEPA MX F1 power supplies. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.